After prompting by a few of our readers, the Investing News Network sought to find out once and for all what nickel should be classed as. Is it a base metal or a battery metal? And the answers were as diplomatic as you'd expect from those closest to the industry. But before we see what experts in the industry had to say when we bailed them up at PDAC in Toronto, let's have a look at why people might be asking why it has to be one or the other. Nickel is a metal that has two sides to it. On one hand, it's vital to industry and manufacturing through its use in creating stainless steel. On the other hand, it plays an important role in powering the information age and transportation of the future through its role in the lithium-ion battery. Its value to producers is a mixed bag though. Vale has struggled to turn a profit from its New Caledonian nickel assets, while in Australia, BHP is working to build up its Nickel West operations in Western Australia by talking up the share of its sales that go towards the production of batteries. If you only looked at what companies and the industry overall were talking about, you would think that nickel is squarely a battery metal. To explore the question, I asked Brian Lenny of Junior Stock Review what his thoughts were. Given that most of the demand for nickel comes from stainless steel, but most of the narrative is from the electric vehicle market, how do you think that the EV market drives the narrative? Why has it taken over?
Because it's not here yet, and it's. I think people like to dream and look forward, and EVs are very much a futuristic or looking forward type of movement, and therefore the narrative sells very well. People can dream about it and look forward to it.
So that's one take. Let's see what experts in the know at PDAC thought.
My opinion is nickel is a base metal. The reason for that is I grew up in Falconbridge, and Falconbridge nickel mine was nickel. So nickel to me has always been a base commodity. It's hot right now in battery metals. What about graphite? Before the battery metals came in, graphite was used in a pencil. So I don't see it as being a battery metals. I just see it still being a base metals.
So when you look at nickel, from a historical perspective, it's always viewed as a base metal. And the primary applications have been stainless steel and specialty alloys. Going forward, though, it'll be increasingly used for electric vehicles as a battery metal. And in fact, the demand for battery within batteries is going to be growing at 33% on a compound basis. What really matters a lot for the EV space is class 1 or high purity nickel, which is what we produce.
It's primarily industrial-wise base metal. The battery is an expectation in the future that it'll become more and more dominant. But you know, the driving force for nickel prices is still stainless steel, I believe, and that makes it a base metal. It's semantics. I mean, it's all end use for the metal.
Absolutely a base metal. Absolutely. No hesitation there. It'll always be a base metal until we're making 50,000 ton batteries, and that's going to be a long way away.
So let's hear that again.
Nickel is a base metal.
From a historical perspective, it's always viewed as a base metal.
A base metal.
Oh, absolutely a base metal.
So there you have it. While most of the nickel mined around the world goes into industrial applications through its use as a base metal, a small but growing percentage of it is going towards batteries. And it's that side of the story that's leading the narrative for now.
Going forward, though, it'll be increasingly used for electric vehicles as a battery metal.
It's really, people want it to be an electric metal, and it is used in batteries, but the amount used in batteries may be high to the volume of batteries, but to the volume of the whole nickel industry, it's very small.
So in conclusion, those in the know think that nickel is for the most part a base metal, but it may have a bright future as a battery metal. So watch this space and we'll see what happens.